What is good, guys? Joseph Rakic here from josephrakicfitness.com, and today in this video I'm going to be sharing with you 10 essential bodybuilding tips that are not anything to do with the gym or inside the gym. So all of these tips I'm about to share with you are outside of the gym, and we're starting off with tip number one. And tip number one is, I fucking forgot it already. Tip number one is meal prep your meals. I'm going to explain why. Now, the reason I say meal prep your meals and the reason why it is so important is because you need a plan and you need to know what you are going to eat the following day. Because if you don't have a plan, then it's just a plan to fail. You're not going to have anything for lunch, you're not going to have anything for meal 3, meal 4, meal 5. So when it comes time to eat, you're probably going to end up getting Uber Eats or stopping in at McDonald's or something like that. So if you meal prep your meals, you know exactly what you're going to eat for the day. Your calories, your protein, carbs, fats will all be met perfectly for you and your goals, and you can't screw up as long as you follow the plan. So I don't meal prep my own meals. I use a meal prep company here in New Zealand called Muscle Chow, and they make whatever I want basically. So I've got 200 grams steak, 200 grams sweet potato, we've got 200 grams rice, 200 grams chicken, 200 grams rice, 200 grams steak. And I basically get 25 to 30 meals, and that lasts me for the whole entire week. And it just helps me because it's so convenient, you know, when I'm at work, or maybe I've finished training and after training I'm going out and I don't come home before that. So it helps me having all my meals prepped, ready to go, so I can just take one of these, chuck it in the microwave, and we're good as gold. Essential tip number 2 is drink plenty of water throughout the day. Now, my advice is drinking at least 4 liters of water per day because water is so important. The human body is made up of 70 to 80% of water, so it only makes sense to drink a lot of water. And the more hydrated you are, the better your performance is going to be in the gym. The better your performance is in the gym, the more muscle fibers you're going to rip, the more damage you're going to cause to your muscle, therefore the more muscle growth you are going to achieve. Now, this is 1.5 liters here. I drink about 3 of these per day, and it helps me drink a lot more water by having it stored in the fridge in a bottle like this. So every time I go to the fridge or I go grab a meal, I can just pull out one of these bottles of water and have a decent scull of water. Helps me get it in. Now, for some of you guys that struggle drinking enough water, honestly, drinking it out of a glass is going to be very hard to consume enough water daily, so a bottle is always the best way. Now, maybe you don't like water because it's got no flavor and it's not that enjoyable to drink. I understand. That's why you can flavor your water with certain different things. I have these water drops here. This is mango flavor, and this is raspberry flavor. And basically what I do, I just put 2 squirts of that water drops in there, and it flavors my water. It tastes like cordial, like juice, and it's very easy to drink a lot of water that way. So if you struggle drinking water, use some water drops just like this. Essential tip number 3, guys, is supplement with creatine. Now, the reason I think this is essential for a bodybuilder is because creatine monohydrate is the most effective ingredient or supplement that there is in regards to building muscle outside of protein. Now, creatine, it is very good for strength, explosive power, muscle endurance, muscle fatigue, and it helps your muscles hold more water in the muscles itself, giving you the appearance of muscle fullness. So you actually look bigger and you look like you've got more muscle because your muscles are full of water. So recommended dose for creatine is to take 3 to 5 grams per day. That's all you need. That's the maintenance dose. And if you do that, you can take it on a consistent basis. Your muscles will be saturated with creatine. Therefore, you're going to get all the benefits of creatine. More gains. Okay, essential tip number 4. Sorry, that was 3 fingers. Essential tip number 4 is make sure that you drink apple cider vinegar in the morning. Now, this tastes like shit, I know, I understand, but it has so many amazing benefits. Now, it's not a magical fat burner or anything like that, but the reason I drink apple cider vinegar in the morning is because it is very good for digestion, and it helps your body break down protein. And because I eat a lot of protein every single day, you know, upwards of 300 grams per day, which is more than I need, but I just like protein foods, my calories are so high. But because I'm consuming so much food and so much protein, so much calories, I supplement with apple cider vinegar 1 to 2 times per day. Most of the time it's just once per day in the morning, and it's very good for my digestion and breaking down protein. So if you have trouble with digestion, I definitely advise that you take some apple cider vinegar in the morning. You only need a very small amount, like literally 1 or 2 teaspoons. Put it in some water to dilute it a little bit. You can add some lemon for a little bit more flavor. Scale it back and you're good to go. Alright guys, essential tip number 5 is take care of your joints. Now, I advise supplementing with glucosamine. This one here, I got it from the brand Doctor's Best. I can't say this word, but it's also got chondroitin in it and MSM, which is other 2 ingredients that are very good for your joints, your ligaments, and your cartilage. I also advise supplementing with collagen. Now yes, collagen is good for your skin, your hair, your nails, but what most people don't realize is collagen is very good for your joints, your ligaments, your cartilage, and all of that stuff, which is the foundation of building your body strong so it can handle these heavy weights. So I actually take collagen every single day. I have a big tablespoon every time I make a Pro Oats, which is my protein and oats and berries mix. And the reason I take it is simply because of my joints. And if you want to be in this sport, this bodybuilding scene a long time, and you're lifting heavy weights, you're putting a lot of stress on your body, your muscles, your joints, your ligaments, it makes sense to pay attention to taking the supplements that'll keep these joints, ligaments, cartilage healthy. So that is why I supplement with glucosamine and collagen, and I recommend that you do also. Okay guys, essential tip number 6 for bodybuilders is focus on stretching. Now, I know a lot of you guys are probably just bros. I'm a bro as well. I like to go to the gym, I like to lift heavy weights with my ego, and then I head out of the gym and go home and eat, and I forget to stretch. But it's so important to really pay attention to all of your recovery stuff, your stretching, your deep tissue massage, because it's so important, because if you don't take care of your body, you're going to end up with injuries later on down the path. So stretching is very beneficial for many reasons. Now, if you're stretching before your training, I advise doing dynamic stretching, which is stretching without holding that stretch, because it's best for performance. Static stretching, when you hold the position, actually decreases performance. So dynamic stretching pre-workout and static stretching post-workout, which is when you hold that stretch in a position. Now, static stretching is the main thing that I want you guys to focus on post-workout or another time of the day separate to your workouts. Now, static stretching, what it does, it basically lengthens the muscle. It allows for more blood flow into the muscle, which allows for more nutrients into the muscle, therefore better amino acid uptake, therefore better muscle growth as well. So stretching is super important and super crucial. It's also going to help you prevent a future injury because you're going to be more flexible and less for something to twang and you rip a pec or you tear a bicep. So right now, I've been very slack with it the many years in the past, but I'm a bit older now and a bit more sensible. So every time in the gym, after my workout, I stretch that particular muscle group. So if you're not stretching, make sure you stretch, because it not only prevents injuries, but it also helps with your muscle growth. One more thing that I forgot to mention about stretching is stretching a muscle actually stretches its fascia. Now the fascia is a thing, like a thin layer of skin, which is not skin, but it's a thin layer of something over the muscle that actually prevents it from growing. And if you have a tight fascia, you're going to be limited to your muscle growth. So if you stretch out a lot, you stretch that fascia, therefore it allows you to have more muscle growth. So a lot of the most muscular people in the world have very weak fascia because it's actually very loose, so it allows their muscle to grow a lot more. Someone with tight fascia, they find it very hard to build muscle. So stretch more. Okay, essential tip number 7 is eat foods that contain fat. Now, I know a lot of people who are into bodybuilding, building muscle, a lot of them are scared of eating fat because they think fat equals fat, which it doesn't. Excess calories, no matter if it's from fat, carbs or protein, can actually lead to fat gain. Yes, even protein can be stored as fat. It gets converted into carbohydrates via gluconeogenesis, then converted into fat and then stored as fat. Basically what I'm trying to say is excess calories equal fat, not consuming fat itself. Now, fat is a macronutrient that you want to consume. A lot of bodybuilders, they just focus on chicken and rice, chicken and rice, chicken and rice, and they don't really get much fat in their diet. But fat is very important and very crucial. Fat is good for your skin, your joints, your heart, your hormones. For example, your testosterone production, which is one of the most important hormones for building muscle and losing body fat, as well as your regulating your brain. So fat is crucial and it's something that you need to pay attention to. Now, in my diet and all of my clients' diets that I prescribe to people all around the world, I make sure that they have a minimum of 0.4 grams of fat per pound of their lean body weight. So basically, your lean body weight is your total body weight minus your estimated body fat percentage. Let's just say your lean body weight was 170 pounds. You would times 170 times 0.4. I'm not good at maths, but I'll put the answer on the screen right here. And that is how much fat, as a minimum requirement, you should get on a daily basis for optimal levels, for brain function, hormone regulation, and performance in the gym. Now, most of the fat foods that I eat are your fatty salmon, good essential fats in there as well, your omega-3s, whole eggs. I never eat the egg whites, only the egg whites with the yolk. I have about 6 to 12 whole eggs per day. That yolk is very important because that's where most of the vitamins and minerals are as well, and it's a great source of fat. Also, nuts or peanut butter is another great source of fat. So if you're not consuming enough fat in your diet and you're not making the gains that you want, maybe it's because you're limited on your fat intake. So make sure you up that and increase that fat intake. And number 8 for my essential tips for bodybuilders is go and purchase yourself an air fryer. Now, if you don't know what an air fryer is, it's basically a small machine or device that cooks your food from frying it through hot air. So you don't need a pan, you don't need oil, you don't need any of that. And you just basically put your steak in there, put your salmon in there, cut your potato up into chips, put that in there, and you can air fry it. Saves you adding all those extra calories from oil and other stuff. Very easy, very convenient, and it saves mess. Now this is something I use almost every day, and it helps me a lot when it comes to convenience. So if you guys don't have an air fryer, definitely go and purchase one because it'll help you so much. I meal prep a lot of my chicken in here, and I know that you guys, if you struggle with meal prep, go and do this. Essential bodybuilding tip number 9 is supplement with vitamin D. Now, most people don't realize this, but if you go and get a blood test done or something, most people will find that they're actually deficient in vitamin D. Now, the best source of vitamin D is sun, so try and get out in the sun as much as you can, try and get that vitamin D from the sun. But if you don't get enough vitamin D from the sun, I then advise supplementing with it. Now, the vitamin D that I use is just from the brand Now. You can buy it on iHerb or bodybuilding.com or something like that. It's very cheap, and because a lot of our foods these days aren't that high in vitamin D, a lot of us are deficient in it. So I supplement with extra vitamin D on a daily basis to keep my vitamin D levels high. Because vitamin D is so important for so many bodily functions, and many people have linked it back to strength and performance in the gym. So if your strength is not where it wants to be, or if you're finding your performance is lacking in the gym and getting worse and worse, it could be a vitamin D deficiency. So I advise that you go out and purchase some vitamin D, supplement with that on a daily basis, and then go and get your levels checked as well to see where your actual vitamin D levels are. And number 10, essential tip for bodybuilders. If you want to make more gains, more progress, lose more fat, have a leaner physique, that is, go to YouTube and type in Joseph Rakic, because I've got over 700 videos there on my YouTube channel. Lots of great content, and if you watch my videos, you're going to learn a lot of stuff in regards to training, nutrition, and supplementation. So go to YouTube, type in Joseph Rakic, followed by anything, creatine, protein, chest workout, bicep workout, best exercise for calves, whatever, I pretty much guarantee to have a video on it. So search my name on YouTube and go through my channel and you'll learn a lot. Anyway guys, thank you for tuning into this video. I hope you learned a few things. I hope you apply some of these essential tips to you and your lifestyle, and I hope you make some extra gains. Anyway guys, thank you for watching. Subscribe to the channel if you're new here, and like I said, go and check out the rest of the videos in my channel.
Slide, slide in the DM. Slide. Sexy little thing, keep the gram cracking. Flexing on the gram, all the boys double tapping, and she got a killer frame with